Good morning. I am in Antietam battlefield, Sharpsburg, Maryland today. I just came from the visitor center and I had a great movie on the battle, a lot of information there. And I'll be taking a walk through I'll be taking a ride through the battlefield and giving you just a very brief information about the battle. You'll need to come down here and visit to get the full picture of it, to get the full scope of it. And another thing you could do is there are great video YouTube channels out there that will give you some really great information with pictures, maps, the whole bit. And throughout my video here, I will be giving you the names of some of those. So I hope you enjoy the day. I will. It's a memorial for the 95th New York. Confederate Stephen D. Lee had 19 cannon positioned up here overlooking the battle and taking hit from the north and lost 80 of its men. And this is the Dunker Church. Comes from the practice of full immersion in baptism. This was the focal point for the Union Army to move towards. And I'll take a look inside. The Westwoods. Union infantry came through here. Confederates pummeled them. Within 20 minutes, over 2,000 Union infantry were killed or missing, wounded. I'm at the cornfield. At that time, this area would have been just corn. In September would have been high. The North first saw the Confederates here in the cornfield. And the cannon got them, chased them out of the cornfield. And the Union advanced. And there in the distance you may be able to see the Dunker Church that they were using for their focal point. But the Confederates reformed their line. And as the North came out of these cornfields, they funneled them. And again and again and again. And the North advanced. And the South advanced. Back and forth for 3 hours. So it was General Joseph Hooker, Union commander, approaching the cornfield with 8,000 men. Can you imagine what it looked like? On the other side of the cornfield were 2,000 Confederates waiting. Later, then Stonewall Jackson, he called up D.H. Hill to come for reinforcement. Hooker called to Joseph Mansfield, and he brought along 7,000 troops. And back and forth it went. And in the end, around 9 o'clock in the morning, there were about 8,000 Union and Confederate wounded or killed in and around this cornfield. On the evening of September 16th, this is where Hood's division would have been awaiting for the wee hours in the morning when they first were able to advance. Then towards the cornfield, which you can't see from here, but it's through these trees and brush, would have been up into there. I have walked on the cornfield trail, and I have come to here. I've come to the cornfield. Now, if I was in Hood's division, if I was a member of the infantry, and the corn is how high? 6 feet? What would I have seen? What would I have known? That the rebels are somewhere down there. Can you imagine being one of the first that came out of this cornfield and got massacred? I'm here at the position where Sedgwick's Union infantry would have been going through the West Woods to be met up with Stonewall Jackson. And it became also another massacre. Time of action, 9:30 to 10:30. Soldiers engaged, Union 6,000, Confederates 8,000. Union Army of the Potomac 2,300 killed. Army of Northern Virginia 2,000 killed, wounded, or missing. And this would have been looking out towards the Dunker Church, that focal point for the Union Army. After the bridge was cleared, 10,000 more of Burnside's troops crossed over and formed a line above that ridge. And where I am standing here, 2,500 Confederates stood this hill. And the battle began. Just when the Union was getting the better of the rebels, A.P. Hill and his division were coming in from over here, from Harper's Ferry, a 17-mile march, and came down in here and hit the left flank of the Union Army. And that stopped their attack. And by then, everybody else was pretty tired of fighting for the day. And that ended it. But it just sounds so simple. When I get up here and I look at all this. But consider this. 8,000 Union, 4,000 Confederates just in this battle. Union Army, 2,200 killed or wounded or missing. Confederate, 1,000 killed, wounded, and missing. It's a lot of death right here. I'm at the Sunken Road, or called the Bloody Lane. About 2,300 Confederates were laying down in there on that road. And up on the ridge, 10,000 Union, they all didn't come down at one time, but regiment by regiment into the bloodbath. Finally, Union was able to flank the rebels, come in from this direction, get down here, start shooting up the rebels in the Sunken Road. Erected by the survivors of Company A and I to the memory of our fallen comrades who fell on this spot September 17th, 1862. This stone marks the extreme advance of Weber's brigade, French's division, 2nd Army Corps. Can their glory ever fade? The Union advance would have came from this direction. And if I was a Federal Union, this is what I would see as I come approaching. The 2,200 Confederates are down there in the lane, and I'm walking towards here, marching. My friend next to me, maybe my cousin on the other side of me. We're marching, and all of a sudden, wham! We get it. Get massacred. If I was a Confederate soldier and my orders was to march to the old farm road that's sunken in and set up a defense. This is the way I would march to it. Sunken road. I and over 2,000 of my friends. And I get to possibly around here, and this is my spot, and I load up and I get ready, and of course without that fence there, of course you can see, maybe I can get up here. I was going to lay down, but I guess that's not going to work here. But maybe I can. I'm a little bit higher, but you can see what I would have saw if I would have been a Confederate rebel. And I'm waiting for the blue coats to come over that ridge, and they do. And we wait. And just about up there where you can see that green bush is when the massacre begins. And thereafter known as Bloody Lane. One last look at Bloody Lane. Union, 10,000. 2,900 killed, wounded, or missing right here. The Confederate Army of Northern Virginia, 3,000 engaged. 2,500 killed, wounded, or missing. I'm up here on an observation tower. You're looking there at South Mountain. General McClellan brought his Union command through there into Boonesboro. General Longstreet then retreated to Sharpsburg. McClellan's command then marched to here. That's where Hooker's command was on September the 16th in the evening. So you're overlooking the battle. The cornfield is there. I'm up above Bloody Lane. So I'm going to end this video here. And let me say again, there's a lot more information out there, and I did fail to mention to you about reading books. I read the book first, then I look on the YouTube. I don't know why I didn't mention books before, but there is so much information out there. Please tune into it. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. If you do, give it a like. Thank you.